Hello, Scorpio. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Scorpio, just a little message here today. Spirit, I was getting a list of things together and they're like, Scorpio. I'm like, okay, gotcha. Here we are. No surprise, right? So, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus cross watcher, if that's you, welcome to the channel as well. Discern the messages accordingly. Thank you to everybody who's liked, shared, subscribed, commented, donated to the channel. Those who have booked personal reads, I do have some emails to get through. Doing that today. I try to stay up to date as much as possible on those, so bear with me. And I will say real quickly too, for those of you who send me messages that are not appointment related, I like to take my time to process what you're sending me. So if you don't hear back from me right away, know that I prefer to be in a different headspace to be able to process all that. So, if you haven't heard from me, you will hear from me. Sometimes it's weeks, days, months in some cases, so just bear with me. You will hear from me in divine timing. And then this Saturday, the 20 whatever this is, 23rd. It'll be the 23rd. I'm planning on doing a live somewhere between 7 and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for those herbs and crystals and things like that. So we'll go through the process of how that's going to work then, and so long as nothing changes, right? Life is a thing. That's my intention. So we'll see what happens, but that's, as of right now, that's the game plan. All right, Scorpio, you're here, you know the drill. Crosswatch, or if you're here, hopefully, I think I already said this, but you should know the drill too. Scorpio, preservation, excuse me, and shift. Some of you, I almost feel like you're tiptoeing out of the dark. The dark. I don't know. It's almost like, is Scorpio going to come out and play after Scorpio season's over? Friction and unity. Well, if those aren't two opposite ends of the spectrum, Scorpio. I feel like your defenses could be up a little bit right now. Trying to pick through what you want to unify yourself with. I think that there are some situations that may have come up this week. They may be getting ready to come up for you. As we know, Pluto finally, right? The haha point. Pluto has finally moved into Aquarius. Here we are. We've been talking about it forever. I feel like with that previous Capricorn energy, Scorpio, a lot of defense mechanisms, triggers, oh shit moments, don't trust, can't trust, don't want to trust, I was taught not to trust. Scorpio comes into this world not trusting to begin with, and then people and experiences just add to it. It's like, can I trust what I see right now? And I just did a collective reading, and I talked about, yesterday I went out into the world and had some really wonderful experiences. Scorpio, it's like, can I trust what I see? Is this for real? Pinch me. Is this really happening? Needing to let go of your defenses. Disarm that stinger. Put it away. Tuck it in your pocket. Play with life. It's like you think about Monopoly. I've noticed things around the game Monopoly. Don't ask me why, and I don't know why it's coming up now, and the frequency in my ear just changed. So there you go. Confirmation. You go into that game to, monopolies are not always a good thing, right? We know this. However, but you go into that game to construct, to build, to see what you are capable of. Like, can I take over the whole world in Monopoly? Are we going to spend hours trading money back and forth and arguing and eating chips while we're doing it? But it's the idea of playing, and Spirit's even equating it to the game of life. Like, you ever play the game of life? Like, you go to college, how many kids are you going to have? It's the luck of the draw when you spin, spin the dial. Scorpio, you could have been in a place, thank you, Spirit. So, Monopoly. Here we go. Here's why these two things are coming up. It makes sense now. Scorpio, in the last, I'm going to use Capricorn's time in Pluto, 15 years. Have you been dealing with people that have been monopolizing your situations, where you were probably more so under the control of circumstances that you may have involved yourself with. So these could be people, these could be soul lessons or reason in a season, right? And you've dealt with a lot of folks who you could not trust, who broke your faith, who broke you, left you, Spirit saying, in a space of despair. Talk about a trauma response, right? Now seeing people, and these actually, oddly enough, for some of you, could be the same people that have broken your trust or you've been skeptical of. Going, is this person trustworthy? Is this situation trustworthy? Can we come together after this period of fuckery? Right? Scorps, call it for what it is. So it's kind of like envisioning what this new world looks like to you, but I don't think that you trust it. Trust. It is a 5-letter word, but in Scorpio's language, it's a 4-letter word, right? So it's like you're needing to trust or questioning if you should trust particular situations. You know, it's like the things that you've experienced, Scorpios, it's become programmed in your mindset, in your DNA, in your structure of who you are. This is trying to undo the damage that has been done, right? Trying to heal. You know, I've talked a lot about the fight and flight response. It's like trying to heal that, you know, I think I said this, maybe this might have been in your weekly reader for another one. Letting your nervous system finally just settle down. Going, not everything is out to eat me. Not everything is out to get me. I was somewhere the other day, and I won't get too much into it, but there's younger people that work there, and I happened to be there, and they were saying about like a big boss coming in, and they're like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. Am I allowed to do this? Can I have this? Can you do that? And I'm like, are you doing your job? So long as you're doing your job, you have nothing to worry about. Are these people that have a title or a position, can they come in and eat you? Can they come in there and just ruin your entire life? No. They can't. This is building up of people that seem big and scary. These are things that seem big and scary that really are not big and scary. But we give them the power and the control to appear to be big and scary to us when they're not. And then what does that trigger within us? A defense response. Pulling out the singer, Scorps. Getting a little lippy. Putting people in their place. F off. Like, you name it, and there you go, right? These are people who, some people will intentionally try to trigger you. Other people trigger you and you don't even know why they're triggering you. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm intimidated by something. And Scorpio, typically you're the one doing the intimidating without even trying to. But I do think that there are people that when you really break it down, they tend to kind of strike upon some, I'm going to call it an insecurity, right? Let's be real here, Scorps first. Human is the next one. An insecurity, not necessarily because you're insecure, but because of the experiences that you've had that have created an insecurity within you. It's, you know, thinking about past situations and meeting somebody new and going, oh my God, is this going to repeat itself? Like, I'm not doing this again with you or with another situation. That creates fear, right? That's creating a fear. And it's remembering, Scorpio, who the hell you are, who you came in this life to be. Breaking away from all of those things that tend to kind of hold you up where it doesn't need to hold you up anymore. So let's get some cards on the table. It's all pre-shuffling messages from Spirit. What does Scorpio need to know at this time? Why this reading today, Spirit, for Scorpio? What do they need to know? They're flying. Legit flying. Alliance in the reverse. Scorpio, there you go. Can talk about trust. Who has your back? Who is showing up for you? Who do you want to align yourself with? Scorpio, I think, look, you, Scorpio, we're going deep today. We're going deep. Listen, under the bottom, fragments. Look, she's trying to protect herself, right? She's like, I see you. I see you. I hear you. I see you. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Is the talk match, is the walk matching the talk that you're spewing? you had some sort of greater expectation for something at some point. This could be multiple friends, family, jobs, blah, 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 you name it. Something is not living up to an expectation. It's like you wanted to believe in something or someone. Rose-colored glasses are coming off. Like, I've tried, I've done, I'm waiting, some of you could be waiting on information from somebody, giving other people the benefit of the doubt, but it's like, what have you aligned yourself with? Like, your friends may not be your friends, Scorpio. Why are they showing up in your world? And that's a large part of this, because this alliance card, to me, this is you moving forward. Motion. You could be realigning yourself just with life in general, right? This could also be not just people, goals, inspirations, admirations of things, reading certain types of books. Like, are these things still serving me? Am I still serving myself for my higher good? What is shifting that I need to move on and move forward from? That's going to put me in an alliance with the things that are going to be super beneficial to me in the long run. And that's where I feel this is happening at, Scorpio, is you're kind of letting everything kind of fall away. Like, I think now, as we approach the end of Scorpio season, and P.S. happy birthday to you Scorpios out there who have already had a birthday, and those are here at the very end on the cusp. But this is you kind of letting every person, every situation just fall. Not controlling, like not necessarily reaching out to other people, not forcing things to work, not inducing will on situations. This is like, if they reach out to me, great. If this job goes well, fantastic. When I go down the arts and crafts aisle, does paint still ring a bell to me? Do I still want to paint? Like, it's like you're letting things come to you rather than you being the one to always go to it or them. It's very interesting, Scorpio. You've taken 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. You are taking a very different and yet unknowingly methodical approach. Like, you could just be hermiting, and not because you want to. It's almost like you are testing the waters of people in a very different manner than usual, Scorpio. This is a very different energy for you. It's, when you think about this, let's just say on a consistent basis, you talk to 5 different people in a day that are a part of your circle, and you decide not to make those typical calls or text messages, emails, correspondence, whatever. And then after 3 or 4 days, Susie messages you, go, hey, I haven't heard from you. Are you okay? What's going on? Hey, they're asking me about me, if I'm okay. Positive sign, right? I don't know. Maybe it's a week later and your mother calls and go, hey, not how are you, Scorpio? Where have you been? Are you all right? But, hey, can you do me a favor? How does that make you feel? It's like you're letting these things, situations, people, the arts and crafts aisle at Michael's, I don't know, come to you and go, does that feel right for me now? How do I feel when I go down the paint aisle? How do I feel like when I go down the colored pencil aisle? Would I rather use colored pencils instead of paint from now on? I'm going to sketch versus painting. It's just an example. But your alliance to things are changing, Scorpio. Like, you're starting to realize over the past how many years for you, what you thought was supposed to be is not. Where you thought things would go when you opened the door to these situations. Maybe you always loved to paint as a kid, and now it's just like, I don't feel inspired by this anymore. Like, I like watercolor instead. I like to sketch instead now. I've found a new love for these things. This fits better into where I'm going. It's like you are changing, every part of yourself without even knowing that you're changing. This disconnected energy is like you creating the space for yourself to make movement. It's very unique. I like this, though. It's very different. Moderation. It is. It's like, maybe even foods, right? Like, it's like, okay, instead of having a 3-course meal, I'm just going to have steak. How do I feel after I eat steak? How do I feel after I eat pasta? Do I feel heavier, lighter, better, worse? Is this good for me? Scorpio, there's a whole lot of is this good for me going on right now for you. Is this for my better benefit? Substances, people, situations, creative endeavors, jobs, you name it. Is this good for me? You're weeding, not even weeding things out. It isn't like, I don't even know how to explain it, Scorpio. There's the way that I see this via spirit is there's you in the center of, like, we could call it a field, right? Let's put you in the middle of this vast open field. And you looking around you and going, there's those trees and there's this and there's that around me. But what am I drawn to? What appeals to me? What lights up my soul? Where do I feel the most comfortable at? That brings me peace. Not even comfortability, but peace. Where can I be myself? Is it that tree? Do I want to sit under the willow tree? Do I want to sit under an oak tree? Like, what environment? With the people in the environment, with the situations in the environment, with all the external factors in the environment, what calls me home? Big difference. Big difference in the energy, Scorpio, of self-examination. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely fucking beautiful. I love this for you. Good stuff, Scorps. Good stuff. All right, let's see. Let's clarify. I'm not going to let this video run super long. Spirit says just 2 of these. So Spirit's latest thing for me when I'm like posing a question is, you could. That's the response. You could. I've had this conversation with my guides. What does you could mean? Of course I could, right? Free will choice here. They're funny. They're on one today. All right, Scorpio. What does Scorpio need to know? Abundance and future. Scorpio, yay! Right? Like, so excited. North Node. Moving more into your fated purpose. Again, what makes you feel good? Look at the harvest on that card. Jupiter energy. Abundance. Your abundance, the way you view things are changing. I don't know. Maybe at one point you wanted a 5-bedroom, 4-bath house with a hot tub and a jacuzzi and all of these other things. Now you're like, give me a 3-bedroom breakfast nook kind of gig where I can sit on this comfy chair in the corner of my dining room and read. In Scorpio, it's funny as I say that to you. It's like you don't even know yourself. It's weird. It's like I could have maybe seen myself feeling this way, doing things that way. But to actually be doing it is like, this is weird. This is not the typical chair that I would sit in. This isn't the typical book that I would read. But I think I could get used to this, right? Maybe moving to a new city. I don't know if that's for me. You get there, you go check it out, you visit the place, checking it out beforehand, and I could get used to this. Very different, Scorpio. Very different. I like it. All right, for Scorpio, Spirit. Invitation in Venus. Scorpio, stepping into the things that you love, the things that love you, the things that light you up, the things that inspire you. Would it be a Scorpio read without some tinge of something, right? There comes the tension card underneath. I do see this tension, though, as you breaking free, as you moving forward, as you learning to align yourself with other things and people. It could be a little bit of a conundrum. Like, do I want to do this? Do these people? It's like maybe you've never gone to a yoga class, all right? And you decide to go off to a yoga class, and you're like, I don't like being in big groups of people. What if I can't do the yoga pose? I'm really out of shape. I'm going to make a fool of myself. It's almost like you're creating unnecessary tension for yourself where it doesn't need to be. It's not about, do I look fat? Can I do a yoga pose? Am I going to look stupid? It's about the experience, Scorpio. So what if you go and you never go back again? You had the experience. Enjoy that experience for yourself. It's not about point A to point B. It's about the journey in between. And so what? Make fun of yourself. Have fun with it and go, yeah, I've done some stupid things and that looked ridiculous, but hey, it was something to talk about that me and my friend can talk about 20 years from now and go, remember that time that we went to that class? Remember how you were trying to stand on your head and you fell over, took out the lady beside you, knocked over her water? Like, so what? So what? You're human. Every experience is not going to be perfected, Scorpio, and you have to know that. When it comes to this tension as well, the flip to this is and have been the people in your life that, spirit, either you thought you loved or they thought that they loved you. I want to clarify what exactly that means, because that seems like a big deal. This is going to be a clash of falling together or falling apart, Scorpio, as well. So let's see. This is a very independent energy. This is also the end of a very difficult cycle as well. Too many cards on that. There's a lot of moving parts, the Sun and the Five of Wands. Can we get on the same page? Some things could have felt very, very rough from time to time, where it's like, when you look at it, like, if it's supposed to flow, obviously there's going to be challenges along the way, but if it's supposed to organically happen, if these things are supposed to come together, why does it always feel like a fight? Why does it have to feel difficult? There's an illumination of that feeling within, Scorpio. That Five of Wands to me a lot of time is internal energy, being at odds with yourself. Five of Wands is also, in this particular deck, throwing things up in the air and seeing where it lands. I kind of feel like that's what you're doing again with some of these situations. Again, you're back here in the beginning, like, vast open field. What's going on? Like, let it all play out, and if a tree falls over, it's meant to fall over. If it stands, then great. Like, it's just this, Spirit keeps using the word vastness, where it's like, wherever things fall with these friendships, these people, these jobs, that's just where they're going to be. Like, talk about a level of acceptance without force. I don't know that I've ever seen this for anybody, Scorpio. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fuss. If that's how you feel, then okay, feel that way. I know how I feel, I think. And I need to figure that out for myself, and then I'll get back to you. Scorpio, you're just not... If it's come in the past years, Spirit using 3 years specifically as, a butting of heads, or, I don't know, I keep seeing like a chest bump thing. Like, it's kind of like, pushing your shoulders forward and, who's got more balls than brains, basically. Is that where I want to be? Like, if I've got to force myself into this, does it even feel right? And I don't think that it does, Scorpio. And I think that's where the highlight here is happening, is you recognize the feeling attached to that. Eight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Eight of Cups. It's funny, Scorpio. Very fast-moving energy with the Eight of Wands, incoming news, communication. You could be, side note, you could be getting invites to parties, to places, to things, meeting new people, having friendly conversations, Somebody also on the love note could see you. You know, like, so they may see you. You may not know that they're watching or looking at you. And they're making very, very slow movement towards you. This is also slow movement of your tangible and your practical things in your life, your resources, your abundance. To me, this Eight of Wands and Knight of Pentacles kind of come in is like they alchemize each other, right? Too much on this side, not enough on this side. Add them together, you've got balance. But I think that it's funny is that this is coming in for you quickly. Information, fast movement, traveling, whatever this is. Of course, it's working towards Thanksgiving. Of course, there's travel. But yet, how do I put this? I'm getting a bunch, like, Spirit's beating me over the head with a bunch of different stuff right now. One thing at a time, please. A lot of this coming in quickly. Other parts of this not moving as fast. And then seeing that Eight of Cups in the background that was peeking out of the deck. If you are dealing with familial and familiar people over the holidays, some things may not live up to the expectation. Like, oh, I'm so glad I get to go home and see so-and-so. I haven't seen them in years. And they show up and you are just, that feeling of that connectedness to that person. It's like they could walk in the room and you'd be like ready to hug them and they give you a half-hearted hug and you're like, oh, that's weird and random. Okay. It's almost like you're walking away disappointed from some of these situations that you've had expectations tied to in the past, the invitations of the things that you've invested in the past as well. But also know that Spirit is saying these things are being replaced, right? New and better is coming along. You know, where you let go of one thing, it creates space on your plate for others. And that's what's happening here, Scorpio. What is this Venus about? Six of Cups. Family aspects. Scorpio, you could get, like, if you are going out somewhere or meeting with family or friends to, if you have this sort of weird interaction with somebody, it might be 3 to 7 days after the fact that you'll hear from them. And I think you'll have a better understanding why they were weird compared to normal. But at the same time, some of you, hold on, before I open my mouth, getting this feeling, Spirit's not giving me a whole lot to go with it, but Spirit's also saying you re-emerging into this world as a newer version of yourself in a more loving space. Scorpio, you know, here's the thing. Seven of Wands, Six of Cups, Six of Swords, the Ten of Swords coming out sideways, Gemini energy. This is a strange energy. You could have, again, familial situations coming back around where they kind of want to pick up where they left off. Man, there's a couple messages. I'm not even sure where to start with this. All right, so scenario 1, Spirit's giving me. You could be getting news and information about some sort of betrayal that you're gonna have to redefine your boundaries with, because it's like their choices could upend. And I don't want to say that they would upend your stability, but you're just not going to tolerate any threats to your security of yourself and your home and your life. Okay? And this newer defined version of you, Scorpio, as you walk into this, is you are unapologetically you. And you've got no shits to give for nonsense. Like, I'm doing this, I'm taking care of that, and you don't get, I don't care how close you are. I mean, it could be your kids, it can be your parents, it could be, you know, your spouse. Like, this is the way this is being done. I can't help it if you can't see the forest for the trees, but I do. Scorpio, for some of you, I feel like this is a small amount of you, though. You could have a past soulmate also coming back around that has done some pretty shitty things. Spirit saying, in their own fucked up way, asking for some sense of forgiveness. Just know. Like, I don't even know what just know. And I say that, and I feel like you're going to feel bad about that in some way. What is this Ten of Swords, Spirit? 8. Spirit said somebody's having financial trouble, and they're trying to lean into you on this. And this, if this person has caused you pain in the past, any kind of tough situation that they have manipulated, magnified, come after you, twisted shit, said one thing, like a partial truth, and then twisted the rest of it, whatever this is. If it has caused you pain in the past, this cycle has officially closed out. The invitation here is, do you want to reopen it? No, thank you. Okay, you know, I'm gonna go karma here, right? The Wheel of Fortune, karma. Card of karma, consequences. If they're now going through consequences from their actions, and they're looking to you going, well, listen, you know, I know it was this, but let's try that. Spirit, I can hear Usher's caught up. I'm so caught up. Got me feeling it, so caught up, or however he says it. This person's got a hold on me, or however he words it. Scorpio, their claws have been removed, whether you know it or not. Their claws are out of you. Probably by way of that thick Scorpio texture, right? Your ability to let everything fall where it is right now makes them realize that where you have been engaged in the past, you don't want to engage anymore. Like, I don't care. If that's what you're going to do, just go fucking do it. And I don't know. Just go. Go do the thing. See ya. Not my problem. When they realize that has become self-sabotaging to them, right? It's the need to compromise on certain situations or whatever this might be. And they realize that being in their stubborn-ass energy has not served them. Then all of a sudden we want to talk. I'm going to tell you something very specific. Word of advice. Both spiritually, personally. People do not change overnight, right? When you have somebody, and we'll just, again, use Capricorn the last 15 years as the example. In the last 15 years, or however long you've known this person, or this situation, have they always been this way? Probably. Especially if they're in a low vibe energy. They've probably always been in it. People who have spiritually evolved, we might fall into it sometimes, but we are able to pull ourselves back out of it a lot more quickly. So we don't live in that, right? We have our moments, we're human, but we don't stay in that shit. When you look at somebody who has been this way their whole lives, or as long as you have known them, and then out of nowhere they say to you, Scorps, okay, let's try to compromise. Let's try to work on this. After they have fought you tooth and nail, dug their heels in, been difficult, found a problem for every solution that you gave, you tried, you did, you worried, you agonized, you stressed out, you lost sleep over it, you didn't eat, you were, down in the cigarettes, the coffee, the alcohol to cope. Like, if that person has brought that kind of environment to you when they show up, I don't give a shit if it was last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. This feels more recent to me, though, I'll tell you that. They have not changed. They have not changed. Their apology should start off why they're even apologizing. Because it's like, like as an example, my own kiddo, when she's done things and I'm like, you're grounded, or you've lost this privilege for the evening, or you need to put yourself in check, go to your room. When she spends that 15 minutes in her room and she comes back in and she's like, you know, I'm sitting there doing whatever, and Mom, I'm really sorry. Are you? I always ask her, why are you sorry? I'm sorry is a very blanket statement. It's like the words, please and thank you. Are those the magic words? Let's sprinkle a little fairy dust on it. Let's make it sound good. Why are you sorry? Why do you want to now work with me? Why do you now care? Dig deep, Scorpio. Make them dig deep. Because I'm sorry is not enough. Let's try to work on this is not enough. Let's think about this is not enough. You tell me what has changed from the point that this happened, which probably wasn't all that long ago, to the point that we are now in. You tell me why. Because if you don't understand why you're doing this, this tells me this is manipulation at its finest. This is me trying to get myself out of the doghouse. This is me realizing that by being a stubborn jackass, I have self-sabotaged myself here in this situation, and Scorpio doesn't care anymore. They're not coming in to pick up the pieces for me. So what am I going to do? Run to Scorpio and go, I'm sorry, Scorpio. Please forgive me. No. Those words are not enough. Actions, words, you're letting things fall, watching it happen. Who shows up? How do they show up? Why do they show up, Scorpio? Actions and words, do they match? If not, it's a no. I mean, it really is as simple as that. Boundaries being established. You calling the shots, and not for the sense of control, but because you have control of yourself. Big difference. I hope that makes sense for all of you. Scorpio, I'm going to grab some advice. I don't want to keep this video too long. We're already brinking what I wanted to do. But again, at the discretion of Spirit and examples, Spirit saying much needed. So there you go. So advice for Scorpio here as they move on with this particular message. Some of you could see this over the next month or so, just so you know. The human experience, Scorpio 16. Understand that you grow through what you go through. I talked about this earlier. These lessons are vital in the expansion of your soul in order to ascend. I love that. 4, I said it. Spirit kept bringing in the word vastness, right? The vastness of what is around you, everything around you. You're in the middle of this field. It's just vastly around you. Couldn't make it up if I fucking wanted to. Swear to God. Like, there is no other card that is going to cement this entire reading than that card. Do you see what that says? Infinite vastness. I cannot make it up. I love Spirit. Spirit in this card saying to you, stop playing small, Scorpio. Stop it. Dealing with people in situations like this, what do? They keep you small. You've lived many lifetimes. You know how the story goes. You've been here, done that, right? It's the Matrix. You've been here, done that. We're not doing it again. Scorpio, that's it. I'm leaving it there. There's the time. There's the stamp. There's the stamp on that. Next 4 weeks, I said, actually, yeah, as I say that, 4. I said maybe over the next month or so. What's that, 4? Next 4 weeks or so, you're going to see this happen. Not your problem. You got a vast new opportunity coming your way. You got a vast new life coming your way. Step into it. Emerge. Be the highest version of yourself. And I like this energy as much as it is very strange. It's a very different, innovative approach. Pluto and Aquarius. I love it. Scorpio, I love you all. Thank you for all the ways you support me. You're amazing. Again, personals are open and available. Reach out to me via the email in the description box below. Sending you all a ton of light and love and happiness and joy and ease of transition through this next 20 years and all of the things that are to come. And again, like, share, subscribe, comment. I love you all. I'll talk to you soon.